Hello, my name is Ursula Addison, and I am a graduate student in the Computer Science Department at CUNY Graduate Center. My thesis is about the system La Vida, a system for value and identity-driven autonomous agent behavior in virtual world scenarios. For the outline, first we will talk about the background and motivation, then we will describe the system. Finally, we will talk about some conclusions and future work. The motivation for this research is an interest in the intersection between long-term autonomy and agential identity in humans. That is to say, we want to know, how does the self-definition of an agent interact with their autonomy? How does this impact their decisions over the long term? We will try to answer some of these questions, and the answers that we find, we would like to imbue artificial virtual agents with some of these mechanisms. In order to do this, we're looking at building a goal-driven autonomy system, which is a system that generates autonomous behavior for agents in uncertain environments using drives to generate and reason about goals. So the overview for our system: there needs to be reasoning about goals. This includes core goal formulation and goal management. Also planning, 2 levels of planning: strategic planning, which is more abstract. It represents the purpose or the long-term goals of the agent. The reactive plan is actually realizing those actions given the current environment. Once these plans are formed, they're executed in the virtual world. There's feedback of the current world state. Sometimes the plans won't work, so there'll have to be refinement, planning. There might need to be new goals generated depending on the situation. And this continues until the core goals that were formulated are achieved. So identity profile. Identity profile is the name that we've given to our unique type of drive, which is a drive that is intrinsically motivated. In other words, it's the internal motivations of the agent are packaged together in this type of drive, which is a collection of roles, values, beliefs, and attitudes. So a role might be the part that an agent plays in a particular scenario. Values would be things that the agent believes in. Beliefs are ideas that the agent has about a particular concept, and attitudes could be a response or emotional reaction to a particular concept. In addition, the agent will have a personality, which is based on the 5-factor personality model. It has 5 factors: canoe, conscientiousness, agreeableness, neuroticism, openness, and extroversion. So going back to the high-level design that was in the previous slide, the parts of core goal formulation and goal management will be done by some type of subsystem. What we're currently looking at now is GGM, Goal Generation and Management, which is created by Han Haid et al. It is a set of requirements. It's not an implementation, it's not a specification, it's a set of requirements of components that should be in a system to achieve this type of goal reasoning and management that you see on this slide. So for instance, there needs to be goal generators, which are the drives. There needs to be heuristics to determine which goals should be planned for and which ones should be put on pause. Eventually the ones that are activated, and then move on to planning. So we are considering integrating with the system a common sense knowledge graph. And the reason for this is because it could provide context. There are many things that an agent needs to know to interact in the world, which are taken for granted, and some of this lack of knowledge can be bridged by a common sense knowledge graph. So for a planner, this isn't the planner we've selected. We're thinking about other planners such as GT PyHop, but as an example, this planner by Neufield et al. Is a two level planner. HTN on the top, hierarchical task network, and behavior trees on the bottom. And so what happens is the strategic plan is done by the HTN, and the actual actions that the agent takes within the environment are done by the behavior tree, which means that depending on the environment, it could take a slightly different action. So conclusions. This is a preliminary design. These are first ideas. we want to use our identity profile as a drive for AHGDA system. The identity profile is based on the human identity. It's a simplified version of it. There's many things that we're not using, such as some of the biological elements. For instance, we're not explicitly encoding emotions in the structure, even though emotions will be expressed. And then also this connects with the rebellion literature, which means that the agent will be, and it fits within the rebellion framework. Future work, first we would like to continue to refine the design of our identity profile. We want to implement it with some software language. We would like to integrate effective models, because our work is not about building effective models, even though we want effective elements. And then we have a table that is mapping the personality traits and their intensities to actual behavior that we would like to finish. Thank you. So following is the references.